Now we're going to talk about dynamics. Dynamics are so exciting. They are actually what add excitement to the music. Dynamics literally means how loud or how soft that you're going to play as a musician. You'll usually find dynamics at the bottom or underneath the staff. And there'll be symbols, things like MP or things like P or things like F. And those are all shorthand for what those words actually mean. The best place for us to start is starting at PP, which stands for pianissimo. And pianissimo means very softly. So if you're playing a piece of music and you see PP written underneath it, that means that your part you should be playing very softly. And again, that PP stands for pianissimo. If you see only one P, that stands for piano. And piano means to play softly. So piano is a little bit louder than pianissimo, but it still does mean to play softly. MP stands for mezzo piano. Mezzo is an Italian word which means moderately or medium. So mezzo piano means moderate or medium softly, because we already learned that softly was piano, the P. Mezzo piano should be slightly louder than piano. So we went from pianissimo, very soft, with the two P's. We went to piano, which was soft, which is a little bit louder. And now we're at mezzo piano, which is a little bit louder than piano. And it means, again, medium softly. As we continue to get louder, next is MF. Now, MF is shorthand for mezzo forte. Now, we already learned that mezzo stands for medium or moderate. Forte is a word that means loudly. So mezzo forte literally means play medium loudly, which is a little bit louder than mezzo piano. So if we're numbering, our dynamics, our volume, how loud to play, pianissimo is the softest, then we had piano, mezzo piano is a little louder, and now mezzo forte is the next loudest. Next will be F. Now if you see F written under a piece of music, that F stands for forte. And forte in music means to play loudly. Our last dynamic that we're going to include in this video is going to be FF. Now FF stands for fortissimo, which means to play very loudly. Same way that PP stood for pianissimo, FF means very loudly, fortissimo. So if we do them in order, we had pianissimo, PP, then we had MP, mezzo piano, then we had MF, mezzo forte, then we had F forte, and now we have FF, which is fortissimo, very loudly. Now, have you ever watched a movie and heard the music start off softly and then just get louder and louder and louder, and just kind of builds a lot of excitement or maybe even fear, depending on the kind of movie you're watching? Well, that's called a crescendo. A crescendo means to gradually get louder, and sometimes it can take several measures for a crescendo to happen, as it starts off softly and just gets louder and louder and louder. Well, this is what the symbol looks like. It looks like this little sideways looking long V. So when you see that, for the length of how long that crescendo lasts in your music, that's how long you should be getting louder. And again, crescendo means to gradually get louder, not at one time, but little bit by little bit by little bit. The opposite is true for our decrescendo. A decrescendo means to gradually get softer. So think about that movie where the music is really, really loud and really going, and then it gradually tapers off and gets softer and softer and softer. That's called a decrescendo. And the symbol for decrescendo looks like this. And decrescendo works the exact opposite way of a crescendo. You start off loudly, and for however long that decrescendo is written in your music, that's how long you have to make the notes and make the music that you're playing get softer and softer. Next, you're going to need to pull out your agenda because we're going to write these terms down in our agenda and see how much you guys remember from what we were just talking about. So, PP, what word does it stand for? Oh, good. It stands for pianissimo. And you want to record this into your agenda. And then pianissimo stands for very softly. Good. So that's telling us how loud to play, remember. What about when you see a P in the music? What does that stand for? Good. That stands for piano. And piano tells you to play how? Alright, softly. So we should have that written in our agenda also. Next is MP. What does it mean? Yes, it stands for mezzo piano. And that translate for us tells us to play how? That's right. Medium, softly. Good job. Alright, continuing going through our terms, MF stands for what? There it is, mezzo, and the F stands for forte. Nice. And that translates to what for us? Yeah, medium, loudly. Very good job. Medium, loudly. Let's fix that. How about the F? If you see F underneath your music, what does that mean? Good. Stands for forte, which means to play how? That's right. To play loudly. Okay, what about when you see the two F's? What does it mean? We got it. That stands for fortissimo. And fortissimo means to play very loudly. Good. Okay, so you wrote down all those terms. Now let's look at the last two terms. What does this top symbol, what is it called? Yeah, it's called a crescendo. And record this into your agenda also. And the crescendo means to gradually, not at one time, but gradually get louder. And then what about our bottom symbol down here, which is facing the opposite way? What's that? It's decrescendo. That DE is pronounced day. And that means gradually getting softer. Cool. So we got all this in our agenda. You guys are going to do a great job of playing with dynamics. Now, it doesn't matter how loud or how soft you play. We want to always play with a good tone and good control. So you want to practice some of your music in different dynamic levels and some of your scales so that you really get awesome at playing dynamics.